What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit. And I'm back with some more Age of Mythology retold action. We're going to be retelling the story of the great Gaia versus Hades matchup that's been played very, very many times, but this one's going to be different. Why? Well, in the bottom of the map, we've got Firefox, one of the greatest Hades players currently playing, versus Matador, one of the most crazy, high APM, super strong players out there. And he's going to be showing us some of his Gaia. Now, I will preface this with, I was told that these guys did play a pretty interesting Ares versus Leto game before this, but this was the game that I was told was the one to cast. I have no idea what happens in it. I just got given the recorded game, so all I know is make sure you get yourself strapped in, popcorn in hand, coffee in other hand, or beer or dinner, whatever you feel like doing. Do it while we watch this game together, because this is going to be a fun one. In the middle of the map, we are on the map key. All of the relics are here. Let's check them out. I actually think that as Gaia or as Hades here, it might be in your best interest to actually forego economic upgrades, forego Vaults of Erebus in favor of getting out an early Oracle Hero, Temple, or Ajax, right? So you can get all these relics in Adamantine. Steels is here. We've got the Zhurang over on this side. Over on this side here as well, there is the Anvil for Feist. Some amazing value to be grabbed. System of Bast as well. If you grab all four of these relics, that's kind of like you've just gotten yourself half a villager on favor for the rest of the game, which can be very, very good. So I'll just throw it out there. The build is really simple with Greek. With Gaia, it's also quite simple, but you just want to put the villagers onto gold, and then you put everyone else onto food, maybe one villager over onto wood, and you get your temple down as fast as you can. You get your Ajax out as fast as you can. You can probably get all the relics in on key by about 2 minutes and 30 seconds or something crazy. So that could be very, very strong. In Asia, we do tea and biscuits in the evening. Yeah, you can do tea and biscuits if you feel like it, all right? That's fine. No problems. Relics getting stolen here is the Armory relic does get grabbed up there from Matador, and Firefox is grabbed System of Bast. So I think after all is said and done, the Anvil for Feist will end up being more value than System of Bast. System of Bast kind of equals something like, what would it be? I don't know, 8 times 3 food per minute, which is pretty good. But like 24 food per minute, something like that. But yeah, that Hephaestus, this relic, is going to save a lot of resources here as Matador does go up through Oceanus, and the military barracks is up. And look at this from Firefox. He's just like, I don't even care. Let me go as slow as I possibly can to this next age. He is wanting to one town center fight like any other man has wanted to one town center fight that I've ever seen, right? If you can predict that this is happening as the Gaia, one of the best ways to sort of punish the Hades with this is actually to just drop a second town center. Might sound a bit crazy because, you know, if you mispredict it, then you're going to get a lot of pressure onto you. But if you get it right, then that's super, super strong. So a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, you know. You can also play around the early Sentinels by going in with a whole bunch of Terma straight away, charging in here and harassing the villagers on the gold mine, using Calidria to heal up the Terma, so you're not going to lose any, and you can get some nice early game damage in. Love for the moment. Firefox advancing to the next age, and Matador is already just all around here searching for some things. As after all is said and done, both players get a relic each. We've got Zhurang and System of Bast. On the other side, you've got that Adamantine shingles as well as the Anvil for Feistus. So it's all been very equal, but yeah. Yeah, the reason he advanced so late was because he went for the Ajax fast as well as got Vaults of Erebus. So that's why it's so late. Nonetheless, Athena finally in, and Firefox is going to show us what he's going to be going for right now. Now, I assume it's going to be a one town center play of some variety, whether it's going to be a fast heroic or it's going to be some sort of classical fight. He could go for a village center here, which he is. This makes no sense. But in it making no sense, it almost makes a lot of sense. Try and unpack that. Why your opponent's not going to be expecting you to advance at 5 minutes plus and then drop a village center. They just are not. The reason why it makes no sense is because if you wanted to go for a village center, advancing quick and dropping the town center as fast as you can be the best way to go. However, Matador spots it immediately, and he'll be able to make a decision straight away as to what he should do. Does he go for a whole bunch of units and try and apply pressure? Does he go for his own normal second town center? The village center is... How do I put this? I've done a little test once upon a time from with one Mr. Husk Soup, biggest brain in Age of Mythology, where we both played set and we both did a very similar build order. One player Soup went for the village center and I went for the regular town center. It turns out that the resource differential sort of equals out and then goes into the favor of the regular town center player at about 10 minutes. Now, I don't know what the difference here or the advantage is with Hades, because there's no empowerment on the village center, but there's so much less walking time that there is going to be an advantage there. Now, we do see the town center coming up for Matador, and Firefox will be able to spot that with his Pegasus here, and then he can make another decision whether that's going to be go and grab a settlement or something. He gets the Sentinels forced out, which is exactly what Matador is going to be wanting to do. And I wouldn't be surprised here either if like a third town center gets dropped. Kind of makes the most sense. You've got full map control with these guys. The army is very, very slow, and you've already got the answers basically for everything. Sentinels is being cast, so you're not too afraid of like a fast heroic into a forward fortress. And you've got the Caladria to just heal everything up, so you're not going to lose any units. You can even get an extra Caladria in as well. And your economy is just going to go into the stratosphere if you were Matador. But it's not looking like that's actually going to be the case, and it is going to be some sort of a fast heroic from Firefox. Now, it looks like he's going for Aphrodite, which means obviously no Underworld. And this sort of an idea of just going full hero Murmillos, and that third town center is becoming even more appealing to me. But Matador, all he can do is poke and get little taps of damage. He can't get any pressure on. The walls are up. Everything is perfectly defended here for Firefox. There's no angle for any damage here apart from on these berry bushes. This is all that can really be harassed. So it's just not going to happen. And now we got the medium range soldiers. We got the medium infantry. We got pickaxe and hand axe, and everything is on the way. As I imagine, well, Matador kind of needs to get to the next stage himself here as well. One pretty difficult thing to make work is like staying classical age versus a heroic age Hades, because they got Peltas, which is going to be able to deal with your Caraballos, and they've got Hypaspis, which is going to be able to deal with your Murmillos, and both don't cost that much gold. Makes it very, very tough to get a big gold starve happening, as tiny little bits more damage to come through as the Caladria can just continue to sit back here and heal up. Using these cliffs is going to be really, really nice. Never going to lose those Caladria, as the next age does hit here for Firefox, and Matador continuing to just put little bits of pressure on. He is making Caraballistic here and Murmillo. I don't like Caraballister when Greek are in the heroic age. The reason is it's just so obscenely hard to keep them out of range of those Peltas. Now, you can build one or two as a defensive unit, to prevent your opponent from pushing in and force them to make the Peltas, and that's going to be able to help you buy some time in order to get to the heroic age to get your Contarius out or even your Arcus out. Arcus are a much more effective unit than the Carabalista because they're a bit faster and they have more range. But the Minotaur goes down, Curse gets clicked. Villagers are on the move forward here as Firefox going basically right into the middle of Matador's position, dropping this fortress. The Villager's going to sit on top of this. Villager's deciding to turn around and shank a little bit. I don't know about that one as the army is coming through here. And Matador a little bit lost for what he's supposed to be going for at the moment as the fortress for Firefox is coming up. A whole bunch of hero citizens getting converted. No, that was a misclick. They don't get converted. But this is going to be a fortress right in the face of Matador that he's not... I said it was less of an issue, right? Because there's no sentinels here. I just want to pedal back and like double down on this, my strategic thoughts of going for a third town center here. If Matador went 3 TC and this fortress came up here, you could just sack this position and then you would still be 2 TC. You'd have way more villagers. You'd be able to hit the heroic age, no problems. And you'd just be in a slightly better position. Why? Because the town center would have already paid itself off. So the villagers are just all pure profit from there, and losing the town center is not that big of a deal. Of course, then you're playing a position that you have to then push back through the fortress, but you can do that. That's going to be possible. But in this position now, Matador, he's just going to lose the town center, and he's going to be in a big... He's going to have a very, very difficult time moving forward. Now, what Matador is really good at, though, is playing in these positions. He is one of the best raiders in the game. He's just super good at catching you out of position, especially when he's the one with the faster units. If you've got like a slow Greek army like the Hypaspis, like the Toxotes, all of a sudden those Contarius are going to be a very, very difficult unit to deal with. And we do see behind this as well, Hephaestus is pre-queued. It looks like that's what Firefox is going to be going for. If he can rush straight to that Mythic age, then life gets very, very tricky for the Oceanus Gaia. I'm not exactly sure what the late game looks like with Gaia. I know that Gaia's got probably the best late game of the Atlanteans. It's probably a little bit stronger with... maybe it's stronger with Leto, maybe it's stronger with Oceanus. I'm not exactly sure, but I guess we're going to have to wait and see, because Firefox is not going to be able to go for a kill here as he's going to the Mythic age. Matador should very well have all he needs to be able to defend any sort of forward push. But Firefox is going to push his luck by moving these Petropolis forward and taking out a couple more buildings. The army can kind of swoop in and take that out now, and there's not really going to be a whole lot that Firefox can do to defend his Petropolis, but he's already clicked up to Hephaestus, and this is the scary thing. Plenty Vault will be coming down. Full Iron going to be in very, very quickly, and the amount of value that Firefox has gotten inside of this strategy is just through the roof. Matador, on the other side, let's see if he's grabbed anything, any sort of advantages here. He's got himself his tier 2 upgrades, which is a big deal. On the other side for Firefox, he's only now grabbing his 2nd tier upgrades, but it doesn't matter because he's about to get 12 plus villages with a Plenty Vault, and then also, of course, the Iron. But there is a little bit of a timing here. There is a little bit of a timing here for Matador to get some revenge damage in. This base is not protected at all. You see the Sentinels, you see the Town Center. It's protected against Classical Age unupgraded units for sure, but it's not really protected against these Heroic Age, Heavy, plus unique upgraded Contarius. And Matador going to charge in here, and these are effectively knights in your base. And this is the sort of damage that Matador absolutely needs to get done here to make anything happen. A little cheeky villager here going to go down. Any amount of damage is going to be good. Going to be able to take down the armory and deny a little something as the Contarius attempting to bail out on this position. The Nemean line going to be coming through as these Contarius are going to maybe sneak down to the bottom side to try and sneak out of this base without losing anything. He loses one Contarius here. Over onto this side, a couple of villagers do get spotted as the Murmillo coming through. The armory wants to be finished here for Firefox so he can get those armory upgrades in, but Matador is doing everything he possibly can to deny this. However, even after all is said and done, with those villager kills, Plentyvault now down, villager differential is kind of in favor of Firefox. The Greek villager gathers faster than the Atlantean villager. And then you add 12 onto this number, and you're looking at like 70, 71, isn't it? So yeah, this is looking like Firefox should be okay here, as long as he doesn't get gold starved on this position, right? As there's another Sentinels actually comes down here from Firefox. Over onto this side now, the Palace coming up for Matador. Bronze weapons coming through. More Contarius are going to be coming in. Over on this side, you got the bronze armor, Sarissa, bronze weapons, etc., to come in. And Matador basically has to use his Contarius here to just run around and just kill as much as he can. Another curse from Firefox. Firefox better have the upgrade. He does. He's got golden apples, and that is 11 going on 12 villagers on the favor. So it's not going to be not going to be using for the restoration. But he's done so much with that curse to just basically stop him losing villagers all over the place. And now Matador has to remake an army, go find something else to do with it. He's charging over to this side with the Contarius. It is open over here, and these villagers on this wood line are going to be in some trouble. Another issue for Firefox that is arising here. This is something that I would love to see players going for. The gold mines are so important that people forget that on key, at about the 20-minute mark, unless you're playing as Gaia, at about the 20-minute mark, all of your wood will expire unless you're chopping the front wood. And then if you're on the front wood, right, that's raidable. You can get wood cut here. Matador can literally just walk forward, drop a palace behind here, a palace here, and a palace here, and all of a sudden, Firefox is thinking, well, where do I get wood from? And then he has to go into a full food-based army, which allows Matador to do things like go Fanatic, or Murmillo, or like keep on going on Contarius if it's going to be anything else, right? The Matador looking over onto this side for some more damage. Town Center's coming up over here for Firefox as this Town Center is coming up for Matador. This Matador going to throw away a couple of units as he's just searching around here for things to do. And there's the Contarius charging in to try and take out the back line over here. Restoration going to come down there for Firefox. As Firefox here gets his town center up, and he's going to be able to continue along. The game goes on like this. There's now a couple more palace to come down for Matador, as Matador has managed to click up through Hecate. Now, I love Hecate. I think Hecate's an amazing god. You have to get this tech very, very quickly when you go Thea and you're planning on going Hecate, because it boosts your favor income. And I'd recommend getting up to, if you can, especially against Hades, because Hades doesn't have the mobility to take your oracles out. But I recommend getting up to 10 oracles as fast as you can if you're going to be going for Hecate. But look at this. There's already 160 favor in the bank. Another option is to go double. You don't even have to go Lampedes. Lampedes are really good. But get your upgrades, and you can just be making the Hesperid's trees as the Contarius charge through here yet again. Just getting more Vil picks, doing all the damage. But you don't have to necessarily go into Lampedes. You can go for an extra tree, or you can actually go for an extra Tartarian gate as another option when you're putting pressure onto some positions, because it is kind of cheap. It's only 300 favor on the recast from memory, and you're going to get to that 300 favor pretty quickly with the Gaia upgraded Thea oracles. Of course, if you have Leto, they'll go even faster, but still, they work very, very hard. And then you can heroize them as well if you have the excess resources in the bank. It's now Matador. I'm going to search over onto this side. Villagers pulling back. The army of Firefox coming through here. And all the upgrades in Mythic Rejuvenation, Celerity, Prophetic Sight. We do have the Tartarian Gate getting dropped down over onto this side as all the villagers getting picked off. But the revenge attack to come in here from Firefox. He's looking for some damage, but this is on top of the Gaia Lush, and there's plenty of units over here. Meanwhile, over onto this side, villagers falling left, right, and center as this fortress for Firefox getting shot up. It's 300 favor there, getting shot up, and unfortunately for Matador, he doesn't spot it. If he spotted it, all of those villagers would have died, and Firefox would be in a very, very difficult position. Carnivore are going to get dropped down here, potentially going to be able to take out a hoplite or something. It's just going to be sacking the Contarius underneath this fortress. Probably should be bailing out on this one as the town center over here does end up going down. But so too does a very large amount of Greek units. It's not the end of the world here for Matador. He doesn't lose any villagers, but he has lost the town center. And this is going to allow Firefox, again, to just catch back up on villagers. And he's going to be able to rebuild his army here. Is the army on this side still searching around? Once Celerity comes in and Mythic Rejuvenation, I just want to make a point. Watch this. 17.6 hack damage per second. That goes up to after you get that upgrade. And then, of course, Mythic Rejuvenation. That's going to be really nice to just give a little bit more life to those bad boys. And he can go from there as... Now Matador, he's got to be thinking, as guard towers are in, I love this tech. This one does get overlooked way too much. Such a good tech. It's also even better with Hades because you have an extra little bit of range on your towers compared to everyone else. Only 20 for a regular tower. So yeah, the guard towers for the Hades are very, very nice. But Matador does see that the wood villagers are on the middle of the map now. So this is Matador's angle for a victory in this game. It is to hit those wood villagers, hit them non-stop, and prevent Firefox from being able to get wood to make things like Heliopolis. But I do like this from Firefox. He's going for Colossus. Does he have the upgrades for them? He doesn't have the upgrades. He lost one already, but yeah, these Colossus become very, very strong once you get those upgrades in. I think it's a must-do sort of thing as the town center on the top coming up. A couple of units just sitting up here to protect as Firefox can wander in onto this position. A couple of units are here to defend, so it should not be a problem. Does the Lampede have the upgrade? No. This upgrade is the thing that makes the Lampede very, very strong. She's kind of mid if you don't have that unique upgrade, but once you have it, she becomes very, very strong. Like, just the fact that you can one-hit a hoplite and then you can chaos another hoplite is enough to say, okay, well, let's go that unit a little bit. Super strong. Of course, you do have the Perseus to have to worry about, but the other heroes aren't that big of a deal when with the Lampedes. So as long as you can keep the Lampedes away from the Perseus, they're perfectly reasonable units to be making. As the Contari is charging through onto this side, going to be hitting the gold situation yet again, but Firefox is quick to react this time. Pulls back into his town center. Not going to be losing any units there. And Matador is going to search elsewhere on the map for someone else to take out. Now over here, we do see some Fanatics starting to get mixed in. And the big question is, well, Matador has fully upgraded units. He's got himself the Fanatics, but he doesn't have Atlas Fanatics, but it doesn't matter. They're still going to be amazing versus Hoplites. And they do have Bite of the Shark, so they're still going to be very, very powerful. They are also missing the Rhea technology. The Fanatics can become incredible if you go Oceanus, Rhea, Atlas, but they have all the, like, Hades has got all the counters in the world to the Fanatics, so you just want to build them to take out Hoplites mostly. I also like that there are a couple of Caraballas. I was saying I don't like Caraballister, but in a way here, just a couple of them to force out Peltast, that does make some sense. Over onto this side now, the Contari is spotting the villagers trying to get up another fortress. And look at this in the middle. Villagers just everywhere for the taking here. I just want to see some palaces getting placed over here. Of course, the palaces coming over onto the side as Matador does need to be thinking about his own trade route as a restoration does come in onto this position. But, like I said, the trade route here for Gaia, and this is the main reason why Gaia is a more powerful late game god than just on paper than Kronos and Uranus. Kronos and Uranus have their own late game advantages like time shift and the sky passages, but just in terms of pure economy, the big advantage is the fact that you grab the upgrade for your units to move faster off of Lush, and they go up to 4.4 speed without coinage. Then you get coinage and they go up to 5.2 speed, which is absolutely insane. It's such a very, very fast amount of speed there for them. As now Matador trying to break through this side. Town Center coming up for Firefox will not be going up, I don't think, over on this side. As the villagers charging in here, and they're going to just say, give me my gold mine, good sir. Is there enough stuff here, though, for both players? It does not look to be... I don't know where the army is for Firefox. He's got units idle over here. So let me hit this. She's got units idle all over the map. If he sent everything onto this position right here, right now, he might be able to have just won the game on this spot. But this position now has fallen into the hands of Matador. He gets another gold mine. That's huge for himself because he's basically... Well, he does have a gold mine on the back here, but he basically went full all in onto this spot to grab this position as much as he possibly can. But nonetheless, Matador continuing to try and charge through here as guard towers are starting to come down for Firefox. But Matador, he can build his own towers. I would recommend just building Palace. I saw... Let's bring Reddit up. I saw a Reddit post the other day. Very, very cool about the difference between Palace and Towers. Palace are generally your better option because of the upgrade here and the fact that they've got more HP and you can just repair them. So if he wants to put up a whole bunch of Palace here, then he can start repairing it if his opponent's going to come in. More surface area for you to repair it on. More safe for the villagers to be there, etc., etc. But for the moment, both players still sitting at full population. One, like, Matador has himself fortified town centers. I don't think Firefox does. He can't... Well, he can afford it. He probably should be grabbing it. But nonetheless, Matador needs to hold this spot. But it looks like it's not going to be quite possible. He's sending destroyers in here, which is kind of fine. They're good at soaking up damage from the Toxotes here. But I'd love to see him start using the speed of these destroyers. This is the big... this is another advantage for Gaia. It's similar to what Uranus has with the Sky Passage, but if he can send Gaia Lush all through the middle, then he can rotate those destroyers over to just attack this town center, and he can get damage there. That's important. As the village is going to try and grab the town center on this side. Yeah, I think maybe in this sort of position, Matador could be enjoying Arcus a little bit. Arcus are very strong in these sorts of situations. They can lock off these positions as well. But he's just going pure melee units, which I don't know if it's quite the best move. Of course, if you build too many Arcus, then the Peltas come out. But that's fine as well, because then you can switch into something else to break through that army, and then you have that rotating thing going on. And nonetheless, settlement has been denied. Matador trying to surround this gold mine with forests. I think you need like 3 casts of Gaia Forest to lock this off. As the Firefox restorations are just going to keep on keeping on. I should point out that at some point here, we did see an extra Hesperids tree come through, which does mean that these Hesperids, or these Dryads, you can go up to 15. And each one of these is roughly equivalent to 3 population worth of unit. But they are costly. And you have to keep on building them, which is obviously something that costs the wood and all the other good stuff, but the wood is in the bank. It's ready for it. Unless a Colossus coming in. At this point, if you're going to build Colossus, at least get the Silver Colossus upgrade. super, super strong. Let's look at it. It's giving 25% HP. And a unit that's already got a huge amount of HP. But nonetheless, does end up getting taken down by the melee units. And there is somewhat of a stalemate simply going on this position. You hate to see this. I just looked at the mini-map. Little secret is click on your scout button. He's kind of got it all. Well, not really. I think he could get a little bit more value out of his favor, but maybe favor's not the most important thing for him here. As he's getting his dryads out, still trying to get everything. Still doesn't grab this town center, and there's now fortified town centers in for Firefox. And Matador just constantly fighting down population here is making life very, very difficult for him. Ranged soldiers is also now queued up. And the trade routes for both players need to sort of begin. I'm still sad that this trade route is running over not lush. It's only for a tiny little bit, but still. I was like, give me all the gold, please. I need it all. Unless fighting underneath this palace and also not yet having the upgrade here is hurting a little bit. So another Zom comes down. There's the fortress over here. Is up. Can he deny the settlement? I don't think he can. It looks like it's going to be finishing. 500 HP. The village is going to immediately start repairing it back up. But a destroyer getting on. Two destroyers already being on there. Does manage to take that one down. Loses a couple of units for it, but very well worth it. His Firefox will just start it up again. He's got plenty of... I don't know if he really does have plenty of resources. I'm not even sure if grabbing this town center at the moment is the right play. Maybe another fortress here first and then go for the town center could be the better play, because Matador's army is back here and he is ready to push. Walls coming up all over the place, as well as the late game-esque situation is about to begin. The town center is back up over here. And an attempt to tear this one down as the villagers will pop out. Is it going to be enough, though, is the big question to finish this position or take this position back. Carnivore getting dropped over onto the villages, or at least to the very least to try and take down the fortified town center. As he does manage to clean it up again, but at what cost? Looks like all of the dryads did end up falling. It's now champion archers will come through for Matador. I mean, he's still got I think one big advantage that Matador has here is the Gaia Forest. Look at the speed the citizens are gathering at, 2.36. Just compare that over to some villagers over here at 1.45. It's close. No, it's not actually even that close. Does he have all the upgrades? He does. I was expecting to see something a little bit faster than this. But I guess he's got 2.59 here on the citizen hero. But if you got the Gaia Forest, you get that big wood income boost that allows you to get those dryads out, and you can keep on dropping the Gaia Forests down. Even at 40 favor, it's kind of worth it for the little boosts. This Firefox is trying yet again over here, and now we are starting to see some Heliopoli side raids at the moment. Take down the military barracks, take down the manor, all the other good stuff. I mean, a second Tartarian gate on this position here to hit the trade route, that's probably a really nice idea for Matador. On the other side, getting that second Plenty Vault in, considering there's 27 villagers on favor, that does seem like a very worthwhile spend of resources, because then you can just you can just kill off 10 villagers at that point. Sit at 90, sit at 80 villagers, no problems. The Matador here, maybe getting a little bit too over-aggressive on this position. Not able to break through. Needs to pull back. Couple more dryads to come through as the temple of Matador will end up going down. He's got to defend this position. I mean, he's got the units here. He should take down these Heliopoli pretty quickly. They are beefy, but they are a lot of resources. It's like 500 apiece, and he just killed off one temple, so not the best of trades after all is said and done, but it does relocate the units quite nicely here. There's Matador. Still not able to... I mean, he hasn't been able to get himself that talented. I think that has been the big problem for him in this game. It's just... He just hasn't had the population space to compete with this Hades army. If he's on 3 town centers, maybe this game is a completely different story. But a constant state of being 2 town centers versus 3 town centers, and even with all the dryads, just not able to break through this army. But the game is still a long way from over here, as Firefox, he's got resources, but he's struggling to get up to that 260 pop. If you can get there, I think life's going to get a little bit tricky for Matador, as Firefox drops another Sentinels. Was that a 70 favor Sentinels? Yeah, that was a 70 favor Sentinels. Absolutely insane. Little secret here, if your opponent does have Peltas and they're fighting like this, is to shoot and scoot off to the side. So you want to move them around the army on that backside, and then they're not going to be able to do as much damage, and you're going to be able to get them out of position so they end up losing. That's the like secret with the Arcus versus Peltas tech. You just kind of move them around the back of the fight to force the... And then the opponent has to actually do more than just shift-click your Arcus line. If they just shift-click your Arcus line, then life gets hard for them. I'm not exactly sure what the favor was spent on. Wait, did he get another tree? Matador absolutely just got another tree. So, you know how I was saying Matador's been fighting down pop? Well, he just got an extra 15 pop to play with in Dryads. Got an extra 5 Dryads. He can make 20 Dryads now. But he needs to have them all out for them to be effective. Obviously, it costs a lot of resources as well. And I guess the longer this goes on, the more trade route is going to come through as well for Matador. That's going to chew into his population, but it's fine because he can just put all his villagers onto wood and he can just spam Dryads. Over onto this side now. The Contarius are going to look for a little bit of a raid. Is this... Look at the Jurang. This is the relic, right? Jurang just keeps this wall staying alive for so much longer. But the idea here now for Firefox, break through here, hit the trade route, and start causing some problems. Firefox makes a great decision here. Guard towers onto the trade route will help him defend that one nicely. True, if you put the tree close to the actual fight, you will start getting yourself... how much healing is it? It's 3 HP per second, so it's not a crazy amount. But does it go down... Does it get halved, or is it something else? Yes, it does get halved, so it's not absolutely insane. So it's not worth placing in a position where your opponent can steal it, but still not bad. There's a Contarius sneak in here, spotting or trying to spot a position where they can just sit and pick off camel or keep... Well, not camels. Donkey caravans, but there isn't one here. And there's the second Plenty Vault for Firefox, and this is going to send Firefox's economy straight to the moon. But Titan Gate coming for Matador. The thing is, can Matador even build this Titan Gate? That's the big question. Because if he builds it, then he's not going to be able to keep making these trades happen. If that makes sense. He's not going to have the income that he's got, so he's not going to be able to keep the trades happening. Which will allow Firefox to happily get up to 260 pop. Which he is somewhat struggling with. He's got plenty of military academies. Only a handful of archery ranges, but he doesn't really need any extra archers now. He's got plenty of Toxotes. Meanwhile, the map is getting chopped down. There's still a little bit of wood here. as the Gastrophosaurus now can go after some of the center of this map. That's brutal. I mean, we've been fighting for this position the entirety of the game. I wish there was some sort of an effort to just say, all right, let's attack over here with destroyers. Kill this town center with the destroyers or something. As a Gaia Forest does get dropped over here. That's a wild place. Just put it somewhere safe. Move the villagers. Take a little bit of a trip back to safety here. That's brutal. Of course, 40 favor for the Gaia Forest is perfectly fine at this stage of the game. Though I do think that making some Lampedes wouldn't have gone astray here, as the Titan Gate will get placed down in the back of the base, taking food villagers off because he's got excess food. We'll see if he's going to be able to keep the fight alive and not lose too much of the position while this Titan Gate gets built. Meanwhile, very smart, safe from Firefox. He's going to go into his own Titan. Really no reason to not do so. Is the army going to charge in here? Yet again, I gotta keep on harping on about these Dryads because I think they are very, very strong. When your opponent has got no heroes in, he's forcing the heroes to continually get built, and these are expensive. 400 gold, 100 gold, compared to just spamming out things like Toxotes or Peltast at 35 gold, 20 gold, 25 gold, whatever it is. They're very expensive. But nonetheless, I did see yet again a little bit of a hero citizen conversion from Firefox. I'm not sure why he did that, but his food situation is now hurting after taking the villagers off for the Titan Gate. And now the Titan Gate for Firefox, and because he doesn't really need favor income anymore, he can just take everyone off here, and he's going to be in just exactly the same position income-wise as normal. So there's shouldn't be any issues holding at this spot, at this position. But the middle of the map is now open, or it's been open for the entirety of the game, but both of these players have sort of forgotten about it. Dryads will be in to, at the very least, defend here. But I'd love to see some sort of effort put into just claiming that center a little bit more. It's another cheeky little... Now he puts it back. Now a cheeky little Gaia Forest on the back line here. How much wood does this actually end up giving you? You get 20 trees at 250 wood. So, what, 5,000 wood? That's pretty good for late game, right? Of course, it's an amazing late game sort of thing. Destroyers coming through. These guys still not quite able to take a proper fight here. With the Dryads, things do change as the Heliopoli are going to try and pull around the side and go after that trade route. Firefox still trying to break through the center here. Looking for something to take out. And Matador's Titan will be finishing up here, but Firefox's is not too far behind. He's also got the technology from Aphrodite, Divine Blood, so it does build a little quicker. And then I guess on top of that, he has Hades, so his Titan's going to be a little bit fatter, but there is Hecate, so he's got a little bit of HP regen and some speedier damage, though I believe the DPS only increases on certain attacks. It doesn't increase versus the Titan. Maybe it does, I can't remember. But he does move faster. 4.1 speed, 3.8 speed. As Matador says, all right, I will finally attack something else. Going and attacking a separate position is a little dangerous because your opponent has got heroes. He's going to start taking these units down pretty quickly, or the Titan down pretty quickly. So you do have to be careful, but killing off the town center here is going to be huge for Matador. In fact, Matador, if he can swap the field of battle up to this top position, he probably should. He should go for this because he can then lock off this position and rebuild his market up here and then go for the trade route over here. If he loses this spot, it should be fine. As long as he can be quick enough about it. But continuing to fight over here as the heroes going after the Titan. Where did the Titan for Firefox go? Just hit. Going to come up onto this spot as Matador. He's got to pull this guy back. He's lost so much HP. He can heal up on the Gaia Forest. I think he can also go over... Wait, can he? He can't heal, right? Unhealable. Yeah, this is healing. Yes. It's not regeneration. He can regenerate, he can't heal. Which makes me wonder as the Gaia Lush work as well. As the Titan for Firefox. I hate to see this. This is going to be brutal. Big mistakes from from Matador with this Titan. He's going straight into the corner. He's going to have to turn around and fight this. And his Titan is... Well, he's going to now have to face a Titan with probably like 25,000 HP or something. At the end of this, maybe 20,000 HP. And also the 4 heroes from the Greek as well. This is pretty brutal. As the Titan goes down, the game continues along. 20,000 remaining. It's so brutal. The cheeky Hesperid's tree does get stolen here as well, and Firefox is slowly but surely gaining ground on Matador in this game. He's grabbed his 4th talent center back. Resources are through the roof. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Wonder get dropped down. And now the simple move here for Firefox, very simple, but he's going for something else, is to send everything, including the Titan, over and attack this position. This is what matters. If you kill off the trade route here, you end the game. But another option is to try and kill off the main town center. That'll stop the trade route as well. It's a little bit risky because all of the army of Matador can collapse hero-wise in an instant, and then they can kill off your Titan. They can be, it can be very, very, very difficult to make this sort of this work. And you are seeing a little bit of units coming over here. The resources aren't in the bank here for Matador at the moment to heroize. You've got a couple of hero fanatics. We are actually going to see this happen here, and the Titan will kill the town center, but look at the HP loss of this bad boy. You know, these units don't make that much of a push. The markets get deleted as the Heliopolis do kill off the market. Market has to come over here, and the llama caravans and all going onto this spot. But still, town center will get rebuilt. Titan's going to get chased down. Dialush sped up infantry units. Matador is doing his best to try and pull himself, or keep himself in this game, I should say. The resources for Firefox tell a completely different story about what's going on here. This isn't just get through the Titan and you're okay. There's a lot of problems here. You've lost the corner. You've lost this position. You're losing this town center. This one's going to be back up for your trade route at the very least. And a Wonder has begun to just go and throw it in the face of Matador. Where did he put it? Is he BM'd it? Or am I blind? I feel like I am blind. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Right at the back. Wonders take forever to build. The whole idea of the Wonder, I was having a conversation in the Age of Empires Discord about this. The whole idea of the Wonder in a 1v1 setting is that you build it and you win. That's what the idea is. So it takes a butt ton of time to build this thing. But if it finishes, you basically should win the game. The only exception is if your opponent also gets a Wonder up in that time, and then it becomes like a weird, wacky, late game situation that is very, very tough to finish. In a team game situation, it can be a little bit different because the Wonder can obviously get taken down. Of course, you still have to play the situation correctly, but that's the idea. But Matador gets himself his town centers back up, and now he is managing to push back here. I don't actually believe he's managed to kill this town center, but he has. He's behind on pop. He's about to get this town center back up. He's got all the units in the... I was saying he doesn't have economy, but look at the queue. He's got plenty of economy here. All Matador wants at the moment is to get this position back. Remember, he's got himself 4 Hesperid's trees. If he does get the town center for himself, you have to think surely he's going to be able to make a game of this pretty quickly. Restoration comes down for Firefox as Firefox has to defend this position. Matador can move back over here and get himself his trade route back up and going. Matador has lost a lot of oracles after all of this happens as the Carnivora gets dropped down, but this just doesn't really do a whole lot. The Destroyers, on the other hand, they are going to be destroying. They will do a lot. As a town center for Firefox does end up dying, or gets prevented at the very least. Matador is down to 54 citizens, though. That's not ideal. I mean, how many llama caravans does he have, actually? 26 llama caravans, 54. Is it enough? I don't think so. I don't think it's enough to keep the pump happening. I mean, he's got so many units in queue that maybe it is fine, and he's just taking the advantage with the 8k military resource value as he is pushing right back through Firefox here, but it is an attrition war that Firefox is going to be able to continue pumping. He's going to lose his market. The fortress is going to go down. The Wonder is going to get spotted here as well. Doesn't know it's here just yet, but he breaks the markets. He's losing all of his army. More units are getting pumped out. The Dryads are still coming through. Oracles are coming in. Can Matador take the town center, though? I don't know if he can afford it. The Fire Slavin's able to take out this fortress over here. And Firefox is... it looks like he's blundering this position. Even with infinite resources. Has he got too much economy? The market back up into the corner. Matador does need to flood this area with buildings very, very quickly, though. He absolutely needs to flood this area with buildings. Thank you for the 15 months, Scotty! Legend! Fortress over here for Firefox. Going down. Matador still pushing. His queue is starting to look a little bit bare as his reserves are slowing down. Destroyers going after the markets as some pacifists are in. Oh, he's now pushing into a different area of the map. I think these units just need to be over here, no? Everything onto this side to get this town center up. The Heliopolis has sniffed it out. It's going to charge over and at least deny it for a little bit here. The Wonder is now 220 seconds away from completion. Palace to come down. I'd also love to see economic guilds getting spread. You know, the Gaia Lush is super important. Units making their way up here a little bit on the slow side to get up onto this position. Getting off some reinforcements. It's the Ajax going down. And can Matador make this happen or not? With 54 villages, barely a trade route and a dream here. Fortress coming up from Firefox to try and secure this fourth town center again. Trying to take out the fortress and everything else. All the units in queue. Matador going to try for his town center, but now for the final... But finally, after I don't know how many minutes of having the amount of units he had with the lack of economy or income that he had, Matador is no longer at full pop. His economy is shot. He's not going to be able to continue fighting like this. The army charges in to take the town center down. I mean, Matador needs to just start the villages back up and get himself the economy going, but he's just not done it. I don't even think the Wonder's going to matter here. He's now starting the villager production. But is it too little too late? The villagers trying to get their town center up. The hoplites are going to deny it for the time being. Not enough resources just yet to start that one up again. Firefox is Actually, also, I don't know if he just had like a brain freeze or something, but he's lost a lot of units on that spot. Drops below population. Still got infinite resources in the bank. The only thing he doesn't have is wood, of which he can buy if he really wants to. It's not super expensive just yet. And there's still wood in the middle of the map that he can walk forward to and start chopping down if he wants to. But this wonder is 75 seconds from completion. And one thing that Firefox should be thinking is, okay, do we just go into Minotaur or do we go into Colossus here? Either of those are a completely valid option here, considering Firefox has gone for the Plenty Vault. If you have a destructive god power, you can just spam the destructive god power. Tornado, earthquake, meteor, whatever. But if you go for an economic god power, it's generally better to just, well, I mean, you can spam Plenty Vaults if you want, but it's probably best to just go for the myth units, Colossus or Minotaur or Cyclops or whatever you've got. Nemean Lion's not the best to mass, but that you can also get those out. But yeah, a couple of Colossus here with the fully upgraded, they're going to be able to kill everything. They're not going to be killable because they just get such a gigantic boost. I mean, you've also got all the restorations in the world you can go for, all the curses in the world, all the sentinels in the world. Is there a second Plenty Vault or am I crazy? No, there's just 2. But the wonder is 15 seconds from completion here. And Matador has finally equalized. He has finally equalized in this game. Only to get greeted by his opponent hitting the Mythic Age. Not the Mythic Age, the Wonder Age. Age 5. Only to get hit by the Age 5 Wonder. Restoration Curse on repeat. Going to be getting dropped down here. And there's almost no way to compete with this. These things also come off cooldown nearly immediately. Fortress is getting slapped down all over the place. And the army of Matador will simply just melt over and over and over again. I still want to see the myth units. Colossus are coming out. Let's go. He doesn't have all the upgrades, but look at this. There's nearly 3k HP without any upgrades. And Matador finally taps out. What an insane game. Absolutely insane. Matador. Wow. He almost had it. Considering he was literally behind on population for literally the entirety of this game. Like, look at this. It's 3 town centers to 2 from 23 minutes to 56 minutes. And he's still holding in there. He sacrifices a Titan in the most silly way you possibly can as well by picking off a town center and then losing it to 4 heroes at a Titan in the corner of the map. And he still almost manages to bring this one back. An impressive game here in more ways than one from both players. Let's check out the post game. The numbers here, statistics, food, wood, gold through the roof. 1,200 units killed to 1,068. Matador definitely had the kill loss advantage here. Of course, some of these units are 3 pop. Some of these units are 4 pop. So it's a little bit difficult to work out exactly what's happened here. Would be interesting to see like units killed military resource value, but it is what it is. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, make sure to follow Twitch, YouTube, subscribe, etc. I'll see you in the next one.